The Oval Office, a symbol of American power and diplomacy, has witnessed countless historic moments and pivotal decisions that have shaped the course of global events. It stands as a testament to the influence and reach of the United States on the world stage. On this occasion, it became the stage for a dramatic clash of personalities and political ideologies, a microcosm of the larger geopolitical tensions that define our era. The room, usually reserved for strategic discussions and alliances, was now a battleground of conflicting visions and priorities. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, a former comedian thrust into the role of a wartime leader, arrived in Washington with a heavy heart and a determined spirit. His mission was clear: to seek strengthened support and solidarity from the United States, a crucial ally in Ukraine's ongoing struggle for sovereignty and peace. His American counterpart, President Donald Trump, known for his unpredictable nature and unconventional approach to foreign policy, awaited him. Trump's tenure had been marked by a series of controversial decisions and a penchant for breaking diplomatic norms, making this meeting highly anticipated and fraught with uncertainty. Hey, what's up guys? Before we start this amazing video, we just want to say wow, what a journey. We're beyond grateful for every single one of you who has subscribed, watched, liked, and supported our channel. Hitting our first 1,000 subscribers is a huge milestone, and we couldn't have done it without you. This is just the beginning, and we're excited to keep bringing you even better content. Thank you for being part of this amazing community. Let's keep growing together. If you are new to our channel, welcome. You can probably see our subscriber number right below the video, and if you're able to, it would mean the world if you could subscribe to our new and growing channel. When you subscribe and like our videos, it helps get our contents exposed to more audiences like yourself. Our mission is simple: to bring you cool contents that inspires, informs, and adds real value to your life. In return, my team and I promise to keep pushing harder than ever to make this show better for you every single week. Thank you for being part of this journey. We couldn't do it without you. Now let's get back to our video. What was meant to be a routine meeting between two allied leaders quickly devolved into a public spectacle of discord and animosity. The initial cordial greetings soon gave way to a series of pointed remarks and visible tensions, forever altering the dynamics of their relationship and casting a shadow over future interactions. The world watched as the initial pleasantries gave way to tense exchanges and thinly veiled barbs. The press conference, intended to showcase unity and cooperation, instead highlighted the deep divisions and contrasting priorities of the two leaders. Zelenskyy, visibly frustrated, attempted to steer the conversation towards concrete actions and commitments from the U.S. He emphasized the dire situation unfolding in his country, painting a vivid picture of the human cost and the urgent need for international support. However, Trump appeared disinterested, opting instead to downplay the severity of the conflict and deflect responsibility onto other European nations. His dismissive attitude and reluctance to engage deeply with the issues at hand left many questioning the future of U.S. Ukraine relations and the broader implications for global diplomacy. Zelenskyy's disillusionment with Trump had been brewing for some time. The Ukrainian president had initially hoped that the U.S. administration would be a steadfast ally in the face of Russian aggression. However, his optimism began to wane as he observed Trump's erratic foreign policy decisions. He had watched with growing unease as Trump repeatedly undermined NATO, questioning the alliance's relevance and even suggesting that the U.S. might not come to the aid of its allies if they were attacked. This was particularly alarming for Zelenskyy, as NATO was the very alliance meant to deter Russian aggression in Europe. The stability of his nation depended on the strength and unity of NATO. Trump's insistence on characterizing the conflict in Ukraine as a regional dispute rather than a significant international crisis was another point of contention. His seeming indifference towards Russia's annexation of Crimea further fueled Zelenskyy's anxieties. The annexation was not just a regional issue, it was a blatant violation of international law and a direct threat to Ukraine's sovereignty. The Ukrainian president had hoped that a face-to-face meeting with Trump would provide an opportunity to reset the relationship. He believed that personal diplomacy could bridge the gap and secure much-needed assurances of American support. Zelenskyy was prepared to make his case, emphasizing the strategic importance of Ukraine in the broader context of European security. He wanted to convey the urgency of the situation and the need for a strong, united front against Russian aggression. However, as the Oval Office meeting unfolded, it became painfully clear that the chasm between their worldviews was too wide to bridge. Trump's transactional approach to foreign policy, and his apparent lack of understanding of the complexities of the Ukrainian conflict left Zelenskyy disillusioned and deeply concerned about the future of his country. Trump, true to his reputation, used the Oval Office meeting as a platform to air his grievances and advance his own narrative. He downplayed the significance of Russia's actions in Ukraine, suggesting that the conflict was overblown and that other European countries were not pulling their weight. He also made a point of highlighting his personal relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin, implying that he had insights into Putin's thinking that others lacked. Trump's comments, seen by many as sympathetic to the Russian leader, sent shockwaves through the room and further exacerbated the growing rift between him and Zelenskyy. The tense atmosphere in the Oval Office reached a boiling point when a Polish reporter posed a question about Trump's willingness to work with Putin to resolve the conflict in Ukraine. The question, seemingly innocuous at first glance, touched a nerve with both leaders. Trump, seizing the opportunity to reiterate his stance, launched into a rambling defense of his approach to Russia, emphasizing the need for dialogue and cooperation. His response, however, was widely interpreted as an endorsement of Putin's actions and a betrayal of America's Ukrainian allies. Section 5. Zelenskyy's emphatic rebuttal. Zelenskyy, unable to contain his frustration any longer, delivered a forceful rebuttal to Trump's comments. He reminded the room of Russia's illegal annexation of Crimea, its continued support for separatists in eastern Ukraine, and the devastating human cost of the conflict. He challenged Trump's assertion that other European nations were not doing enough, pointing out that Ukraine was on the front lines of a conflict that threatened the security of the entire continent. Zelenskyy's impassioned plea, while failing to sway Trump, resonated deeply with many observers, who praised his courage and conviction. Section 6. Accusations and Fallout. The Oval Office meeting ended abruptly, with both leaders exchanging thinly veiled accusations and recriminations. Trump accused Zelenskyy of being ungrateful for American support, while Zelenskyy criticized Trump for disrespecting Ukraine's sovereignty and downplaying the severity of the conflict. The damage, however, was already done. The meeting, meant to be a show of unity and resolve, had exposed the deep fissures in the U.S. Ukraine relationship and raised serious doubts about America's commitment to its allies in Eastern Europe. Section 7. Damage Control and Congressional Outreach. In the aftermath of the disastrous Oval Office meeting, Zelenskyy's team scrambled to control the narrative. They took to social media, emphasizing Zelenskyy's respect for the United States and its people, while simultaneously highlighting the importance of continued American support for Ukraine. Zelenskyy also reached out to key members of Congress, both Democrats and Republicans, seeking to bypass the White House and build support for Ukraine directly with American lawmakers. His efforts, while partially successful, underscored the growing uncertainty surrounding the future of U.S.-Ukraine relations. Section 8. The Unravelling of a Partnership. The Oval Office meeting marked a significant turning point in the relationship between President Donald Trump and President Volodymyr Zelenskyy of Ukraine. What began as a diplomatic engagement filled with cautious optimism soon spiraled into a complex web of distrust and animosity. The initial hope that characterized their early interactions quickly faded, giving way to a more strained and tense dynamic. The meeting accelerated the deterioration of their relationship, highlighting the growing rift between the two leaders. Trump's transactional approach to foreign policy, which often prioritized personal and political gains over traditional diplomatic norms, played a crucial role in this unraveling. His willingness to appease authoritarian leaders and his apparent disregard for the complexities of international alliances further complicated matters. Zelenskyy, on the other hand, found himself increasingly isolated. His concerns about Ukraine's security and sovereignty were met with a dismissive attitude from Trump, leaving him feeling betrayed and abandoned. The meeting also exposed the deep divisions within the United States regarding its role in the world and its commitment to its allies. The political landscape in Washington was fraught with debate and disagreement over the direction of American foreign policy. Trump's actions, seen by many as a betrayal of American values and interests, sparked widespread outrage and protests. The American public was deeply divided, with some supporting Trump's approach while others vehemently opposed it. On the global stage, America's standing continued to erode. International leaders expressed disappointment and concern over the United States' shifting policies, leading to a sense of uncertainty and instability in global affairs. Section 9, A Lasting Chill. The fallout from the Oval Office meeting cast a long shadow over U.S. Ukraine relations. The events of that day, broadcast around the world, served as a stark reminder of the fragility of international partnerships and the unpredictable nature of American foreign policy. While subsequent administrations have sought to repair the damage and reaffirm America's commitment to Ukraine, the scars of that encounter remain. The legacy of Trump's actions continues to resonate, serving as a cautionary tale about the dangers of transactional diplomacy and the importance of unwavering support for democratic values and institutions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Subscribe.